What if I told you there was a force so merciless, it didn't just destroy lives, it crushed hope itself? A knock at your door in the dead of night, and you're taken without warning, without trial, without a trace. Your family may never see you again. Neighbors are too terrified to even speak your name. This wasn't just oppression, it was terror. Its name, the Gestapo, Hitler's secret police and the enforcers of Nazi Germany's darkest horrors. Welcome back to Lost Horizon. Want more powerful stories that shaped history? Hit subscribe now and join us for epic tales you'll never forget. Let's talk about their methods. You've heard the phrase, the walls have ears, but under the Gestapo, this wasn't paranoia, it was reality. They thrived on creating a society of snitches. Even children weren't spared, brainwashed to turn in their own parents. Imagine being a mother, cradling your child, and wondering if they might one day report you for an offhand comment. This wasn't just psychological warfare. It was a deliberate act of shattering the most basic human bonds: trust, loyalty, love. But when the Gestapo came for you, trust me, that was when the real nightmare began. Their torture chambers were carefully designed to make you wish for death. They didn't just beat you, they broke you. Electric shocks, starvation, isolation, and unspeakable violations were routine. They didn't care if you gave up real information. They didn't care if you begged for mercy. The only thing they cared about was instilling terror so absolute that even the thought of rebellion would vanish from your mind forever. Now, here's something that will make your stomach churn even more. The Gestapo wasn't a massive army. At its peak, there were only about 32,000 members, and yet, they controlled tens of millions of lives. How? Because they didn't need to be everywhere. They made sure you believed they were. A suspicious glance, an overheard joke, even the smallest act of defiance could be reported. And once you were on their radar, it was game over. People simply disappeared. Some ended up in prisons, others in the death camps, their existence wiped away. Like the Gestapo didn't just stop at silencing dissent. They played a critical role in carrying out one of the greatest atrocities in human history, the Holocaust. They hunted down Jews, Romani people, political prisoners, and anyone deemed undesirable, with cold efficiency. They rounded up families, ripped children from their mothers, and ensured the trains to Auschwitz and other camps were filled to capacity. Their hands weren't just blood-stained, they were drenched. And the worst part, they made people complicit in their own suffering. Families were forced to betray each other. Communities were turned inside out. The Gestapo turned human beings into weapons against one another, creating a society so paranoid, so broken, that the Nazi regime didn't even need to enforce every rule themselves. The fear alone did the job. But don't let the uniforms or the paperwork fool you. This wasn't some faceless system of evil. These were men, ordinary men, who laughed, joked, and went home to their families after a day of tormenting others. They weren't monsters in the traditional sense. They were worse. They were humans who chose to embrace cruelty, who turned their neighbors into prey and fed on their suffering. When the war ended, the Gestapo's horrors were laid bare for the world to see. During the Nuremberg trials, survivors recounted atrocities so harrowing they still defy comprehension. But no trial, no sentence, no historical reckoning could erase the scars left by this organization. The Gestapo wasn't a faceless bureaucracy. It was a machine, finely tuned to crush dissent and break people down, mind, body, and soul. Their purpose: to root out anyone who so much as thought differently from the Nazi regime. They didn't care if you were guilty. They didn't care if you had evidence on your side. All they needed was suspicion, or worse, a neighbor's lie, to justify the. So, what can we take from this? The Gestapo's legacy isn't just about the terror they inflicted, it's a grim reminder of how fragile society can be. How fear, once unleashed, can consume everything in its path. How ordinary people, caught in a storm of lies and propaganda, can become both victims and perpetrators of unimaginable cruelty. If this story leaves you shaken, good. It should. Because this isn't just history, it's a warning. Let's make sure the lessons of the past aren't lost to time. If you want to learn more about the shadows of history, like this video, subscribe, and keep watching. History isn't just what happened, it's what could happen again.